Ladies, welcome. And all the people that are still coming in, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you've joined us. I think what I've got here to show you is very exciting. I think it's another development within just the realm of what we can offer our clients and technology, and just super convenient for all of us. So without further ado, let me go through, because I know it's quite late for some of you. So the first thing I want to do is just go quickly through what I'm going to share with you today. So we're going to go through the tour of the digital swatch, or the app, the admin tour. So unlike the few other apps that are out there that like a color swatch, ours has an admin behind it that you get to manage, what sort of swatch options you have to give your clients, pricing and an introductory offer, how to get started, and if you want any training, what training is available for you. We have our new digital swatches. They have been perfectly partnered with what we brought out last year during COVID, where all we could do was virtual analysis. And that is our whole series of virtual analysis tools. So they are now perfect partners. We can take you right through from the process of, once you've got a client who wants to do a color analysis online, we've got all the fillable forms you can send them for their photos, all their instructions. Then when you get all that back, we have all the tools that you can do on your computer very accurately and very easily to determine what they are. And then a program of all those photos and all those colors for them to send them back to show them why you chose that they were the coloring they are. So it's a very cool team that we can partner with both of those. And that's one of the special offers at the end. So why would you even think of this as a consultant? Well, I can think of heaps of reasons. One, instant access. When you need to have a client receive a color swatch, you've got it right there instantly. So have they. So there's no need for you to carry any stock. And that is also a blessing when you live at distance to whoever's supplying you. Also, that means no postage, no duty, no delays, which happens all the time. And it has full client customization. So you are the one that has the ability to change, update, and add to your app, and it will happen straight away. And your business is going to be highlighted within our app. Now, you hear me saying app and digital swatch. I'm going to just stop here. I think it's really important at this point to say to you that technically this is an app, but that's where the differences end. Because if someone went and knew the name and found it, they could certainly download it, but they can't use it. This is a product that only comes from an image consultant. And so you will have had to have done their colors in some way. And to me, that's a very important distinction. And also, and this is probably the most important thing, this is a digital swatch that is made to supersede their hard copy swatch. So I believe it should always be called not an app, but a digital swatch. And when you do that, you take away the connotations of what people know an app to be. That is things like an app doesn't cost any money sometimes, or it doesn't cost very much money. So call it a digital swatch and you'll save yourself all those issues. All right, so what about for the client? Well, it can't be left behind. It can't be lost, which we hear all the time. We often replace somebody's swatch. It's instantly updatable. So what that means is that if you have a client who has one of these swatches and later on they go to change their hair color, and that may have changed their type of swatch they have, or they've got older, or whatever it is, and there needs to be a change, then the client can come to you for the change and you will charge them accordingly. But when it comes into their digital swatch, you just go in and find them in your admin and you'll be able to update them, and there will be no cost to you. So it's all benefit to you and the client. Also, it's personalized with your client's photo, and you'll see how effective this is when I show you. But their photograph not only gives them that recognition of this swatch is mine, of course, along with their name, it also gives them the ability to see their face on color as if you're putting a drape around their face. There are also more colors than you can give in a hard copy swatch, and that's simply because of the size of the swatch and the cost of the swatch in getting it made. So when it's digital, you can put more colors in it. So what we've done is we've selected colors, so as you're moving around the parameter of the wheel, they can have, and both in depth and saturation, instead of just picking, say, every 5 colors so that they can always work out what's between, we will show them every color they can have when there's a discernible difference in that color. The digital swatch is interactive, so your client can go in and do things with that app, which makes it a lot more fun and usable too. And it's easy for your client to contact you through the swatch. So we've tried to cover off a lot of bases that will make this swatch really usable for you. All right. Now, just a few numbers. We have 1,687 named colours in our database. And we did that because when we did our market research, the clients didn't want to have just colours in there. They actually wanted names to colours. We suggested, what about if we number our colours? No, they wanted names of their colours. So that was a lot of fun going through and finding names to colours. And we have gone along and named all those colours. Now, know that there is no formal name for any colour rather than the ones that consistently sit around the colour wheel, like red, blue, red, green, and all those sorts of colours. So what we've done is we've gone in and we've tried to give all the colours a name that really makes sense when you look at that colour. Also, there are 12 directions. So we've always had swatches that have 12 directions, and there are 6 sub-directions. So you'll learn about what the sub-directions are. These are going to make the swatch even more succinct for your clients. So when I say the 12 directions, the cools, the lights, the softs, the brights, the darks, those are the terminologies we use. Cool summer, you might hear it that way as well. There are 160 average colours in each of the digital swatches, which we'll show you in a minute. And the swatches come in 3 languages at the moment. British, which is you can select a US British or a UK British, Spanish and Afrikaans. So those are what we've got as far as numbers for you. So let's get into it. And we'll go on the app tour, which I'm sure a lot of you are very curious for. So first of all, someone would go to their app store. Once the consultant has gone through setting it up in the admin, the minute it is all set up, the email will go out and they are told to go to a Google store or an Android store, of which they will download the app. Then once they log in using those details that comes from that email, they would log in the first screen. I would highly suggest that you suggest to the clients that keep that stayed in ticked, because it's just so much easier than having to put it in over and over and remember it over and over. And then the next page you'll see is this one, and this is called a splash page, and that simply means it's there while things are downloading. The next page they'll come to is their home page. So this is the first real page of the digital swatch. So what I'd like to point out to you here is this will be the name of the client, and this will be their photograph. Here will be all the various areas, and I'll show you each of them getting started. My color ID, that will tell them all about their coloring. The colors that they are suggested are their best, makeup recommendations, color insights, where that tells you a lot more about color, how to understand what certain things mean, like relative temperature, and how to get the most out of your colors, and universal colors. The next page I want to show you is up here, and this is the client profile and settings area. So if they go to there, the first page that comes up here is my profile. Now you can see down here, this is where they can change their password from the one that you've done, and they can read all bits and pieces there. pretty straightforward in any app, that one. Now over here, when they click on my profile, it will be their name, their email address. Of course, this is just a dummy one. And up here is an edit area. If they want to edit their email address, say, for example, they would go in there and then change it and then save. They can also re-upload their photograph if they want another one. I don't think they will. There's nothing stopping them, but it will have a background in it. And you'll see that this program, it loses something when the background stays with their photo. I would be thinking that because you set it up for them in the beginning and you take their background out with very simple apps, it's very easy to do, then they'll probably come to you and you would charge a modest fee and put their photo back in there for them. So getting started is the first one up here, and simply that just gives them a quick overview of, getting your colors done, how it's going to benefit for you and what you do. Pages, I want to point out, is the very first one. That will be your client's face, your client's name. It will say, here is your personalized light cool, so it will tell them what swatch they had, color palette. I know you're going to love it. And then it ends with your name, so this would be your name down the bottom there. So it's, again, starting that personalization both for them and for you in this swatch. The second one is the color ID. So this is probably the first place they go to, where, of course, you've probably already had a consultation with them, a virtual draping or whatever, so they will know it, but this is them getting the swatch. So again, here we have their photo, their name, what their coloring was, and then all of this goes through helping them to know what that means, giving them information about what sort of prints and patterns would suit them best, what sort of gemstones and metals they'd use, how they might wear black and white when it's not in their wallet, a little bit about personality. So there's a lot of information in that area for them. All right, going on to the next one. At the top on the My Color, you will see this photograph, which is me at the moment up here. The My Color ID page is the only page where your photograph is at the top. So this is the page where they can actually see who is their consultant. Now, if they click that, it goes over to here, and then it shows your name, your email address, your phone number, and your website. Now, the great thing about this is the fact that it's all dynamic. So if they click on the email, it opens an email to you. If they click on the phone number, it says, do you want to call this person? And we'll call them. Same with your website address. If you click on that, it is going to go straight to your website. So I think it's very cool that we have that dynamic aspect to here. Now we come to My Colors. We have several screens of colors. The colors are broken up into our main colors, then a group that we call neutrals, and then near neutrals and power neutrals. So the main colors are just all the colors that they can wear. The neutrals are all those colors that are in their range. They work with everything. That's why they're called a neutral. They've not got a lot of color in them. And so they will work very well as, say, pants and things like that. And near neutrals are those that have just a little bit more color in them, and those tend to be your denim-y type colors, your chambray type colors. And then the power neutrals are those that just hold a little bit more presence to be able to wear them at work. We've just broken them up. All right, so once you're on that page, there's a couple of things you can do. So just to remind you, we've gone into My Colors. We're now on the color screen. Now, the first thing is, if you click on any of these colors, then it will bring up a full screen of that color. And that's quite useful because sometimes looking at the colors over here, they sort of interact with each other and they don't always give you the absolute truest feeling of what that color is. So you can always click on the color and then it'll bring it up nice and strong for you, and you can see the color quite clearly. If you tap on that screen once again, you will go over to the page which has what we call information. So it will tell them what's the relative temperature of this color, where we think this color fits in your wardrobe. And remember, these things are explained up into the My Color ID area. and the psychological effect that that color is likely to have on someone in the Western world. And so all extra things that I think makes it interesting for the client. So these are all things at their fingertips. So another thing that we've got when you're in a color, so let's say you've tapped fuchsia blush, you've gone into the fuchsia blush color, and now you've come down here to the compare. When you press compare, it will bring up two colors. Now, what we could have done is made the first color over here go to the very first color on their screen, which would have been the yellows. But I think the way that people would be using this is to go, okay, this top I'm looking to buy isn't exactly this color. I know I can wear a little one side or a little other side. Let me see if I go through a couple of colors and if I can see anything closer. And so that's why we've actually put the color here, which is the next color. So the way that I would suggest that somebody is checking this against a garment is, in our experience of testing this out, you lay the phone on the garment, and that's the most accurate way. But if you hold the garment behind it, that's going to be the best way to do that in, say, a shop when you're looking at, does this suit me? Or does it match one of my colors? The last one we have underneath here is coordinate. And so coordinate will bring up the color, the person's face, and then all the colors that she got. And you can move this up and down through the colors so that you can start to see how the colors work when it comes to if you're thinking of coordinating them in your wardrobe. Plus, we tell you which ones are analogous or which ones are complementary, split complementary, and monochromatic. We have a makeup page, and next one is our color insights page. So this is designed to help your client understand more about color, what is relative temperature, things about wearing contrast, ideas of the role of color in business, what does monochromatic mean, all those things. There's quite a few pages in this area. So that's just adding to their knowledge. All right, and then we have a list of universal colors. So that's pretty much the app in itself. We do have some things that we're thinking of releasing, but as they get finished, we will release those to you. All right, so how would you as a consultant change or create a swatch for your client? So first of all, you'll need to be a consultant of Image Innovators, and there's two consultancy levels, and I'll explain that at the end. So when you're a consultant of Image Innovators, you each have your own admin area. And so down the bottom, you'll see that's where our consultants do their style, and up the top is where they track orders and buy things and things. Over to the side, you'll see now an area called Color App. And so you're going to press Create a Swatch for your client. Now, the reason we do that is we've got a whole lot of places that are linked into this admin. If we have one admin, our consultants don't have to remember to go to this website and that website. And what's the logins for all these other ones? They simply go to one place and they log into everything from there. So once they've pressed Create a Swatch for a client, they will be taken to the dashboard. Now, on this dashboard, of course, it's fairly new at the moment. There's not too many clients in there. One, you'll see a little running total of how many clients you've seen over the last couple of months, and it will show you by country where your clients are coming from. So I think that's sort of cool. Also, should you elect to join us, the first thing you'll need to do is to set up your profile in this. So if you remember on the swatch, it had your photograph and your details in it. So before you made a swatch for anyone, we need to sort that out. So you would come up to this area and it wouldn't have a photograph in it, and you would click this little down arrow, and that's what it would say. Now, we're about to remove this area here because you do not want to change your password there, because you break it to between our main admin and this, so you don't do that. So anyway, you click into profile. Once you're in the profile, now you've got to pretend there's no photo there. You put your name and email and so forth all there that you want people to go to. Once you've done that, you go over to this one here, click into that. That's where you're going to upload your photograph from. this little blue square will allow you to move it up and down, and you can roll it forward and backwards and so forth. Now, notice that Claire has no background to her photo. It's only a little circle it's in. I think in this instance, it's not that big a deal that you take the background out, but I do think that it does look a little bit better. For those of you who will be joining us next week on Wednesday, the Image Innovators Consultants are having a detailed training on removing backgrounds and all sorts of things, a bit more in depth. This is just an introduction for the rest of you. Okay, so once you put your photograph in there, of course, you press save. So what about adding a client? So over here, there are two areas for you, your client list and add a new client. So we're going to press add a new client, and simply we're going to go down and put their name and details in. Now you'll see there are some license keys up there. Those license keys are, if you bought a count or a license key or product key that we call them, you are able to create one. So you have to have bought a product key in order to have a key up there to create one. So one key in the Image Innovators system will either buy you a style program, male or female, or a color swatch. Okay, so this says we've got 11 up there. You would put the client's first name, last name, email, contact, all fairly simple things. Create a password, click that to see what the password is, what country they're from. This one is, have they had a style program or not? Yes or no. Language you want, so you click there and click the language, and then what swatch type. So once you've done that, you go down here. This is slightly hidden. It says save. So you would save that. Then you would go over to the client list, find the client, go into view. Once you've clicked that, you go over, that tells you everything that you've just put in for that client. You would go and press update and crop, and that's where you're going to bring in the photo of your client that you've taken the background out, and of course center it and all that sort of thing. We suggest that you set up a template on somewhere like PicMonkey, Canva, whatever you use. There's so many platforms these days. 1000 by 1000. Learn how to take the backgrounds out, which these days, ladies, is so easy, and so many platforms do it so well. So if you do that before you even start the process, before you've even gone into admin, just go over there and get that photograph ready from the client. And next week in our webinar, we're going to show you all about how to get a good photo. Then you're all ready just to quickly put this in and press save, and then it's all done. All right. Any questions? Is it all fairly clear for everyone? Yes? Not hearing anything? All right. So swatch type. We've always used the typical 12 directions: cool, warm, cool, clear, light, cool, light, warm. People use different names for the same thing. So light cool would be light summer, soft cool would be soft summer, bright cool would be bright winter. If you need any help, we can give you what are all the different names for the same things. And so then after that, we have 6 subdirections. Now, the reason that we did subdirections is that on an app, you have the freedom to add as many colors as you like and to make it as accurate as you like. And so we found that in the example of going to, say, cool clears, which would be your cool winters, that you have some clients who have dark hair and some clients who have grey hair. So if they're still clear and they've got grey hair, some of their darkest colours, say black as an example, would go down to a deep charcoal. We would actually take the black off them. We would tend to keep them in the light to medium light colours rather than the light to dark colours. So there's just that little bit of change there that we feel that makes the swatch ever better, because we can just adjust the colours ever so slightly. So we do it for both the cools, we do it for the warm clears, we do it for the bright warms, because as you can see, you'll be able to pick bright warm blonde or bright warm red or brunette. The softs we don't do by hair color, but by contrast. So when you look at their hair, skin and eyes, if they have a medium contrast, then their colors are a little bit more saturated. If you're the soft, low contrast, so there's not a lot of difference, then their colors tend to be a little bit gentler or a little bit softer. And by doing that, you make sure you get exactly the right swatch for the client. And we do it for the soft warms as well. Okay, any questions on that? Because some of that was quite new to some of you. No? One of the questions I have been getting recently is, what happens if my client's hair color changes? Could I take a soft from a low contrast to a medium contrast? And the answer is yes, you can. Once you've created one for a client, you just go back in, go into what type of swatch she has, change it to the one that needs to be now, press save, and it's done instantly. So there's no additional cost for you, even though you may have an additional cost for her. So what's the pricing on these digital swatches? We have casual and professional memberships in Image Innovators. I'll step back a minute and say a professional membership for Image Innovators is $50 a month. For $50 a month, you get social posts. We have over 2,200 social posts that you can brand to your business with all sorts of teaching that goes with them. We do twice a month webinars to keep your education going, and you get access to all the past ones. We give you the help you need, but also we give you 3 free product keys a month. And so a product key is a key that will allow you to access one of our style programs, which is My Private Stylist or Men of Style, or it will give you a swatch, a digital swatch, that's new, that's just happened. So casual members, there's no fee for a casual member. So if you are a casual member and you want a digital swatch, it will cost you $45. Now, casual members, being no fee to Image Innovators, don't get access to those other things either. Professional memberships, remember that's $50 a month. You get your 3 free license keys a month. And if you needed to buy any more swatches above that, they are $35 each. And remember, with these, there's no postage, no duty, they're all instant. We do have a special offer for those who join, and it will be just to the end of this month. Until the end of the month, because we know our clients have a lot of past color clients who would love to upgrade to something on their phone. Let's face it, you just take your phone everywhere these days. Even my handbags have gone down to little over-the-shoulder handbags because you carry so little. So the professional members, where the price is normally $35, if you buy 1 key at the moment, it's $25. If you buy 5 keys, it's $112, 50, 10 keys, $200, and you can see a significant saving there. And if you haven't already got our virtual color program, you can save $50 on that as well. So that's just to the end of the month. So you need to join up fairly soon. If you're a casual member, you save a little bit there as well. So you can see if casuals buy them for $45, they can buy them for $35 for 1 key, down to $28 each for a 10-pack. So that's our special offer just to the end of this month. If you wanted to join us to get the swatch, and I hope to enjoy all the things that we do offer, because I think we go out of our way to create cool things and innovative things for all of our clients at a very good price, you go into imageinnovators.com. And then you go under the client consultant area at the top here and press become a member. And that will tell you all the membership things. The color swatch isn't written in there at the moment because it's so new. I'll put it in shortly. Or that's the same place where you can join free as a casual member. One last thing is, people have been saying, look, I really don't have much training in any of this. Are you going to do any sort of training? We will be running in March a 3-day virtual color analysis training. If you're interested, it's going to be all online. The 2 dates are the 22nd to the 24th of March, 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. That will be Australia time, Melbourne time. And on 29th to 31st, 1 p.m. to 8. So we're trying to get all the time zones for you. What we're going to teach is color theory, what the 12 groups are and the subgroups, how to use the virtual training tools, color tools. We're going to do 3 client drapings, virtual drapings. We're going to really talk about how age affects on color. We're going to talk about bending the rules of color and really how to use the color swatch. So these sessions will be 6 hours with some allowance for breaks. For that training, it's $9.95. But we're going to give you $750 of bonuses, $15. So you're going to get the virtual tools. So that is how to do a color analysis. You're going to get 9 digital swatches, so 9 not licensed keys, and you've got a 3-month membership. So that's pretty good. And payment plans available. And then what I was saying is for an extra $250, you'd be able to upgrade to the full multinational online color course that we have regularly, $14.95. So you would get the training next week and you would get that as well. So if you want to know about that, just email me, Anne at Image Innovators, no E on Anne, and I would be happy to assist you. So that's a big roundup. Try to be as succinct as possible for you. I know it's early and late and all sorts of things around the world. Now, any questions? You've all been so quiet.
Hi, Anne. It's Florence. Thank you very much for the training. If I obviously purchase, say, for example, 10 digital swatches, can I reuse them? Because how do we go about?
No, just like when you make a style program for someone, you take a license key and you make one style program for one person. So this is the same, one license key, one swatch.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any questions? Fine. Anybody else? No?
Hi, Anne. It's Lauren here.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi. I just wanted to ask you, once you've given access to the app to a client, yes. Is there an expiration date for that for the client?
No. No, for as long as the app is alive, which I hope is going to be a very long time. No, it's they've got it forever.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Have you got a question, Kelly?
Just to comment, this looks really great. So, I mean, I've done color for a long time. I would say most of my work's now corporate training, so I haven't been doing as much, but this is exciting. So it might be fun to come back to. So
yeah, I think so. We've tried to make it so that, technology's moved on. People have everything on their phone, right? And I think it just makes it so much at hand. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everyone. Thank you for your attendance and have a good night or good morning for all of you. Okay. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.